everyone, welcome to a full face of Beauty Pie. Now I know we did this before, but it was several years ago and there have been many launches since then. So we're doing a full face of Beauty Pie makeup with a lot more recent products. Let's just get started. So I have two primers that I'm going to go in with today. One is the Wonderfilter Velvet Finish Primer. This is a mattifying primer. It's actually surprisingly kind of oily textured, not oily. It doesn't feel super matte, but it is actually mattifying. I'm just going to put a little bit of this on my chin, a little bit around my nose and my smile lines. This is where I get the most oil and where I get the creasing, because I have these big smile lines and I get a lot of creasing in them. Okay, that's enough for this. Don't want to use a lot of that. I do like this primer. I'm not usually someone who actually uses primer. I typically find they don't do a lot and so I don't bother, but I do actually like this one. It's also nice under concealer if you want to use less powder on your concealer or not use powder on your concealer. You can put this underneath your concealer and it will sort of, I don't know, like kind of set your concealer from underneath almost. It's kind of interesting. I'm also going to use the All-in-Wonder Illuminating Primer. This is a tinted primer. This is the colour. So in the winter, this is actually not a colour that I can use, like it's too orange for me. But right now, I think we're going to be just fine with this colour. It feels quite smooth, like it doesn't feel super slippy or hydrating. It just feels like a little bit moisturizing, a little bit tacky, but smooth. I quite like it. We're going to go in with the Super Healthy Skin Sheer Tinted Oil Free SPF 20. I have the shade Very Fair. You know, if you've seen some of my other Beauty Pie videos, that I hated the foundation, so I don't have that anymore, but I do have this, and this is Very Fair, but it's honestly like the colour, I would not call this super fair. It's not cool undertone, it's still kind of yellowish. It's not super light. So I'm gonna pray that this is gonna go on okay, because this product sometimes doesn't play well with other things like skincare. I've got very lightweight skincare on today that's, I've got too much of this, that's I've allowed to absorb into the skin, because I know that if I have a lot of skincare on, this product just not want to apply. Like it just sort of balls up and goes into like a weird paste. I'm just using my fingers with this because it is more of like a tinted SPF. It's not super coveragey, so I do feel like it's a product that you can just smooth on with your fingers. Moving into our next product, we have the Superluminous Under Eye Genius in light medium. Now, I am not a very big fan of this. I mean, it is brightening in the sense of it just makes my under eyes look lighter. It does not colour correct. This is like very pale pink. It doesn't have enough of that like peach tone. The darker ones, obviously this comes in a couple of shades, is obviously like a different colour. And maybe that colour is better, but it would be too dark for me. But this, and if you can see, it's just kind of pink and light, but it doesn't really colour correct the under eye in the way I would want it to. Like I have, you know, similar types of products, potted products that you apply with your finger like this under the eye that I prefer, that have more of that peachy tone rather than this like pink tone, because I don't really feel like this does a lot for me. I really tried to be open-minded about the concealer because it's the Everyday Great Skin concealer and I hate the Everyday Great Skin foundation, so I was like, is this going to be any good? But I ordered it, I tried to be open-minded, but I don't like it very much. It doesn't give very good coverage. Now, this is the shade 25 Porcelain. Might be a bit light, might be like more of my winter shade. This is, what brush is this? The Pro Angled Concealer Brush from Beauty Pie. So let's try and blend it with the brush and see what happens. Maybe this will, I don't think I've used this brush before, maybe it will give better coverage than when I used my finger. Let's see. It is a very nice brush, I have to say. This is like very soft. It's a nice shape for getting in that under eye area, and I think that, you know, looks okay. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of the concealer. Like, it's still not the best coverage, and it looks like a little bit cakey, although that could be because this potted one is underneath. Let's try a finger. I don't think it looks super different. Maybe there's a little bit more coverage on the brush side. Maybe we can just add, it's a little bit light. Just add a tiny bit more. I'm gonna add some elsewhere on the face just to brighten. I do really like this brush though. I'm glad I bought the brush. I'm still not a fan of the concealer, but the brush is really nice. It doesn't have a very natural skin-like finish. It just looks a little bit sort of heavy for not that much coverage. So I'd just skip the concealer, to be honest. If you're wondering where to spend your money in Beauty Pie, just skip these base products. They're not that great. Moving on to something that's a lot better and I like a lot more. This is the Triple Beauty Luminizing Wand. Similar kind of package to the Charlotte Tilbury, slightly different shade. This is more like a pinky colour than the Charlotte Tilbury one I have, but it's quite similar in like formula and texture, and I hate this type of packaging. So I'm gonna try and squeeze some product, but not too much product up. Here is the product on the back of my hand. Way too much, as always. I'm just gonna pick some up on my fingers because I like to apply it with my fingertips, and I'm gonna pop this on. And the reason I'm doing my highlight now is because I like to blend my highlight in while my base makeup is not like set down. It's just easier to get like a seamless finish around the edges. So I have some texture on my skin right now because I had an allergic reaction, so the highlighter might not look great, but that's because I have like these little skin bumpies from the allergic reaction I had to the Happy Face Beauty Pie moisturizer. This highlighter does give like a really pretty glow, and I'm also going to add a little bit to the brow bone area. But I recommend this. I think it's super nice. I think it's worth the money. I wish it was in a different type of packaging, but honestly, like, it's a good one. It's a good one. Now comes the blending challenge, because I have the bronzing creams, and these can be a little difficult to work with. I have a full review of these and the new Gleam blushes that you can check out. I will link it down below. These don't blend great. I mean, they blend okay if you just go in one time with the product and blend and then leave it. If you try and layer it, add more, it can go quite patchy. And if you try to layer it with like your blush and highlight and stuff, sometimes it just picks up the product. So hopefully this is going to go okay today. I'm using the shade Goldielux, and this is the Beauty Pie bronze and contour brush that they recently released. So I'm going to pick up some product, dab it in my hand here, and then pray that this goes on without going patchy, because you just don't know with this product what's going to happen. So Goldielux is a more olive tone, and then Sunnyside is more of like a golden, slightly more orangey, warm tone. Okay, I think that went on okay. That's all right. It's one of those things where you kind of have to just like get it on and then like not touch it and leave it alone, you know, because it doesn't like to be fiddled with. It doesn't like to be touched. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend the bronzers just because they don't blend out that great, and they just are a bit of a pain to use and do tend to go a bit patchy. So I just think there's better products out there. I tried to do the like whole like slicked back hair today, which I don't normally do, but I'm not sure I did it very well. I put hairspray in it and now I'm like, does my hair just look greasy? Like, potentially it just looks greasy now because of all the hairspray in it, but never mind. That just did pick up all the foundation off my nose, to be honest, so that's what happens with this. It just, it doesn't like to work with other products. It's a bit finicky, you know, it's finicky, and I don't like products that are finicky. Moving on to blush. So I have like 5 shades of these blushes. This is Universal Pink, which is a much brighter pink colour. I'll show you next to Bare Blush. So this is Bare Blush, which I use most of the time. This is Universal Pink. So maybe I'll combine them. I'll add a little bit of Bare Blush first, and then maybe just add a little hint, just a little hint of the brighter pink. Now we have to see and hope that the bronzer doesn't go patchy as I try and put the blush on, because this is one of the problems. I'm also adding a little bit of Bare Blush to my forehead, just to give it a slightly more natural sun-kissed look, because I'm the type of person who kind of goes pink in the sun. Like, I do tan, but I burn first, so the bronzer maybe went a little patchy up here on my hairline, but honestly, I'm not going to try and fix it, because when I try and fix these things, they end up going worse. That's the problem with this bronzer. Just blend out the edge of the blush a bit. Okay, I'm going to add a tiny, tiny bit of the brighter pink. That was a bit too much, it's quite pigmented. I just made it patchy in my hairline, so I'm actually going to try and fix it by applying a little bit with my finger. Okay, no, it's not fixable. Can you see here where it's patchy? Once this happens, it's just, oh, now I made it worse again, trying to blend it to try and fix it. This is the problem with the bronzers. Okay, that's gonna have to be good enough for me. Try and balance it with a little extra on the other side. Yeah, this is why I don't recommend the bronzers, because they don't behave well with other products. Like, it's fine if you're literally going to put on some concealer and bronzer and that's your makeup and you're going to go, and you're not trying to layer it with like blush and highlight and stuff and contour. But if you are trying to use other products with it, it doesn't behave very well at all. Let's just move on from this slight cheek disaster. Oh no, we can't move on yet. Got contour. This might not go well. This is the Quick Colour Contour Supergel. Also has the squeezy tube packaging. They've changed the colour of the packaging now. It looks slightly different, but it's still the same product as far as I'm aware. And I'm going to take the contour end of the new brush that they've released, just dab that into the product on the back of my hand and see if I can just gently, very gently, tap this on in a way that doesn't cause even more patchiness. No, it's going to be patchy. It's going to be patchy. What I would say about some of the Beauty Pie products is they're very nice products by themselves, but then when you try and make them work with other products which are also by Beauty Pie, and therefore that's a disaster, and therefore should work together, they don't work together. Can you see how this is just, everything is picking up now? You know what, I'm just gonna put some concealer. I've just erased what we did before because it wasn't going well. Let's see if I can now just add a little bit of the contour. Okay. It's hard when I'm doing like this full face like this, it's hard for you to tell what the product is that's causing the issues, but from my experience, it's the new bronzer. So just skip it, don't buy it. Okay, this is going to be such a long video. We're now moving into cream eyeshadows. I have a whole bunch. This purple I really like, wore this to a friend's wedding. This one here, Copperini, also super nice. And then these three I got as a trio. They come all in one pack. I feel like I'm going for a more like neutral vibe today. So I'm going to use Rosentine. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Rosentine. I really like these cream eyeshadows. I think these are really good. Let's blend out the creases. These are comparable, in my opinion, to the By Terry cream eyeshadow sticks, which says a lot because those are really good. So I'm just going to blend it now with my finger and go for a slightly more like messy, just smudgy eyeshadow look. Scribbling this all over. These are super easy to use. Like, I like easy to use products, that's why I hate the bronzer, but these are just so easy. And once they dry down, they don't crease, which I really like. I'll just shoved it in my eye there. But you can be pretty, like, haphazard with these. You don't have to be super careful, and you can get super pretty look. We're gonna add Copperini, which is this one, to the outer side, and just blend them together. So I'm just scribbling it on again. Super just relaxed about it, just scribble it on, it'll be fine. Take a finger and just blend it. If you're looking for a really, really easy eyeshadow look, these sticks, they do them in a whole bunch of colours. These sticks are super nice. These are one of my favourite Beauty Pie makeup products. Effortless. It's so easy, you almost like cannot mess these up. Should I add some, like, a pop of colour on the lower lash line? I think I'm going to just add the purple to the lower lash line. And I find that these are pretty waterproof. Like, I have very watery eyes, particularly in the summer. And I don't have issues with these. Like, once they set, they really do set. So just smudge it gently. So I really like this purple. I think it's super, super pretty. I'm a big fan. So highly recommend these. I'm just gonna pop a little bit of the Beauty Pie Super Healthy Skin Nourishing Lip Balm on my lips because they're feeling a little bit dry. Now, I don't have a setting powder from Beauty Pie. I used to, but I really didn't like it. I used it in my former Full Face of Beauty Pie video. So if you want to check it out, you can go look at that video. But I really didn't like it. It said it was translucent, but it was kind of yellow on me. So I don't now have a setting powder from Beauty Pie. So I'm going to quickly set with the Huda Beauty Cherry Blossom Cake Powder. I've just set with the Huda Beauty powder, and I really don't like the concealer. I don't like the way it sets. So the powder I really like, and I don't know if you can see, like, on my under eye, if it's going to focus on me, how kind of, I don't know, chunky it looks. Like, it looks uneven, like it's really patchy here. And partly that's the concealer, but it's also partly the under eye genius underneath it. It just, the texture of the under eye genius, it doesn't like look good when you put powder on it. And yeah, also, like, where I had concealer up on my forehead and then I've set it, it also looks just dry and just textured. And my skin is textured a bit right now. I have these little, like, bumps and stuff, but this dryness is ugh. Moving on to something that's better, that I like. So I've complained about Beauty Pie powder highlight formulas in the past. They used to have terrible powder highlight formulas. Like, their blush was fine, and for some reason their highlight was terrible. But they finally released a good powder highlight. This is the Triple Beauty Perfect, oh, mirror, oh, it's filthy, oh, you can see everything, okay. This is the Triple Beauty Perfect Glowy Powder. It only comes in one shade, which is a little unfortunate right now, because for me this is a little, like, dark and gold toned. I am going to put a little bit on. Like, if I was just doing my makeup for me, I would not add powder highlight to what's going on right now, but I want you to see the product. So I'm just going to take a little bit on a Real Techniques brush and then tap it off so I don't get too much, because this is a little dark for me. And then I'm just going to tap it on the high points here. And finally, a powder highlight from Beauty Pie that's, like, smooth and not chunky. But can you see that's quite gold? It's a little bit too gold for me and my skin tone personally. And powder blush. Now, this is in a palette that they don't sell anymore, but the actual blush you can buy separately, and it's, I can open this. It's this one here, which is the Superjuju blush, and it's a really nice blush formula. So I'm going to add a little bit on top of my current blush, because everything that I did with the, you know, bronzer and contour and highlight and powder and everything is kind of dulled down the cream blush a lot. So I'm going to just take a bit to, like, squeeze my brush to get it in, because it's a palette, but take some of this, try and get it evenly on the brush, tap, and I'm going to just add a little bit of blush. I like a lot of blush. I like to just put blush everywhere, to be honest. Moving on to eyeliner, they make some really nice crayon eyeliners, but I used one of those in my previous beauty pie video. So I'm going to use one of their like liquid felt liners. I have both Java Brown and what's this one called? Black Cat. So they make a black and a brown. I think I'm going to go with the brown today. I don't think I've used the brown one before, but I have used the black one. And these are really nice, like they're really pigmented. And it's got a nice fine point and they're quite easy. Like I'm not very good at liner, but these are pretty easy to use. I can't really talk whilst I do this because I'm going to mess it up if I talk. Just doing a really, really thin line. They're really good for a really thin line. I'm really not good at wing liner. Like this one ended up thicker, so then I had to make this one thicker. But I think they're like reasonably even now. And like these are nice. I would recommend these. They are pretty easy to apply if you're not great at wing liner like me. They have a really nice, like firm enough felt tip, and they dispense enough product. So as you're pressing, you get enough product coming out on your brush. So these are good. These are good. What else have we got? We're on to brow gel. So this is the Archology Eyebrow Sculpting Gel. I already had Perfect Brown before, but I recently bought Hot Coffee. So let's look at the colours. I've got eyeliner all over my hand, but this is Hot Coffee. See how different it is from Perfect Brown. Okay, and this is Perfect Brown. So this is a little richer. This looks a little more ashy. I am going to use Hot Coffee today. And this is like, it's not like a super firm hold. This is a bit more like a kind of, my mirror a bit closer, almost liquid wax kind of formula. Like it's not going to hold your brows up all day if you have unruly brows. But I really like the brush wand on this. It's like small enough. Like if you don't have massive brows, then you need something that you can use without it getting absolutely everywhere. It just grips the brow hairs nicely and combs through them without dispensing too much product. That's all we're doing for the brows. I don't tend to fill them in with a pencil anymore, although Beauty Pie does make a nice brow pencil, just so you know. I absolutely love, this is one of my all-time favourite Beauty Pie products. Like if you're going to buy anything from Beauty Pie, buy one of these lipsticks. These are the Luxe Shine lipsticks. I have makeup all over my fingers. I'm getting makeup all over the thing. But this shade is You Sexy Thing, but I have like 6 of these in like a bunch of different colours. They mostly come in nude colours. And they're just such a gorgeous like glossy hydrating formula. I have a bunch of lip liners as well. I do like the lip liners from Beauty Pie. This is a shade I just recently bought, Rummy Pink. I'm not sure I've even used it before. But I'm going to use this today. It's kind of similar to my natural lip colour. I don't know why I'm talking whilst applying lip liner. That doesn't really make sense, does it? It's creamy, it goes on easily, but it's not super slippy, so it does last. This is a super nice, like, My Lips But Better shade. I'm actually gonna just completely fill in the lips. I really like that. I really like this shade. Again, this is Rummy Pink. Really nice. And then lipstick over the top. This is You Sexy Thing. And again, it's sort of a little bit darker than my natural lip colour, but again, it's like a My Lips But Better kind of shade. I love these lipsticks. I love these lipsticks. I have so many of these lipsticks, like, and some of the shades, to be honest, aren't that different from each other. Let me know if you want me to do a video where I like swatch all of the ones that I have, because you don't need them all, because some of the shades are pretty close, and they're kind of semi-sheer and like buildable. But they feel so nice. Like, I have really dry lips, and I also have like small lips, so I tend to avoid super matte lipsticks. I was actually really sad that they discontinued their satin lipstick, because they had the matte, then the sort of semi-matte, and then the Luxe Shine, and now they just have the properly matte ones, which I find to be too matte. They really dry my lips, the super matte ones. But I'm sad they discontinued the other ones. Okay, so Fresh Glow setting spray. This is a really nice setting spray. I'm gonna give myself a little spritz of this. It has quite a nice mister. You see, it's fine. It's not kind of going crazy all over my face. I'm putting a lot of it on. I really like setting spray, and also I feel like from the base makeup, like the Tinted SPF and the concealer, I feel kind of dry. Like those products, I don't like them. I mean, look at this concealer here. It just does not look good. It just does not look good. But I love the eyeshadow though. I love the eyeshadow, and the cheeks are looking okay after that drama with the bronzer and contour, but they don't look too patchy. They're looking all right. So I'm going to quickly curl my lashes off camera because it takes me ages, because I bought one of these like baby ones so that I don't pinch my skin. Beauty Pie didn't have a waterproof mascara for the longest time, and I need a waterproof mascara, so I was really happy when they finally made one, and they called it the perfect waterproof mascara. Like, that's a big claim, and I would say this is far from perfect. Like, I do not like this, and I've given it a chance, you know. I've even like allowed it to sort of dry out a bit, because sometimes, you know, mascaras, they take a while to get to that good state. But this, I mean, it smells kind of weird, and also it's just not good. So I'm gonna try and apply a little bit. Like, it has got better as it's dried out. At first it was just an absolute mess, but I still wouldn't say it's good, you know? It's not volumizing, it's not lengthening, and it makes me look like I don't have that many eyelashes. And even though it claims to be waterproof, I can't put this on my lower lash line because it transfers everywhere, which you would hope that a waterproof mascara would do not so much of. I wouldn't say I'm like short of eyelashes, like in general. Like, I don't usually look like I have super sparse eyelashes. It's just like this mascara, it's just not very good, you know? It's just not very good. So, very, very, very quick recap. Avoid the under eye concealer, the under eye corrector. Avoid the foundation, the tinted SPF, avoid the cream bronzers. The primers are okay. I like the highlight, I like the cream blushes. I like the new powder highlight. It's not the best colour for me, but it is a nice formula if you like more of that gold colour. Powder blushes are also super nice. Contour is okay. I really like the setting spray. I really love the eyeshadow sticks. They're super, super great. Hate the mascara. Like the eyeliners, the pen ones I use today, but also the crayon ones I also have, and they're also really nice. Lip products in general from Beauty Pie are pretty good. Like, I really like the Luxe Shine range. I also like the Colour Up, like the lip balms, one that look like crayons. I'm not a big fan of their like matte formulas because I find them too matte, but their lip liners are also super nice. Oh yeah, I do like the brow gel, even though it's not a super strong hold. Yeah, that basically sums it up. I think I'm looking okay despite some drama, or at least I look okay on camera. Up close, I mean, I've showed you that concealer multiple times. Like, the concealer just looks like terrible. Thankfully the setting spray has like revived my skin a little bit, where it was feeling super dry. The bronzer, when I applied it to my nose, took off all the foundation and concealer that was on my nose, so that's looking a bit patchy. Yeah. Okay, everybody, this video is like going to be really long, so I'm going to wrap it up, but I hope this was helpful. Let me know if there are any particular Beauty Pie products you want to have specific reviews on. I will link some of my existing reviews down below, and I will see you over there.